PR and content marketing here at Koozai, and today I'm going to run through a short webinar on how to do PR, so how to get started with your PR to support obviously brand awareness, driving backlinks and supporting your SEO efforts in gaining sales, and just generally building a PR campaign from scratch. So on the first slide, we'll just go through a little bit about what we're looking to learn on this webinar today. And we want to go through what we'll be able to do by the end of the session. So the first thing is we'll be looking at learning about backlinks. You'll learn what backlinks are and how they can be used to support your SEO strategy in driving leads. And as part of that, we will look at doing a backlink analysis and how you might be able to get started with doing one in your own time. Secondly, we'll look at how to build a winning PR strategy that drives links, media mentions and brand awareness. And as part of that, we'll help you sort of identify what is a PR story and how you can find journalists and start to build your own media lists. And then finally, we'll create winning PR stories. So we'll help you sort of start creating press releases, start creating media pitches, and sort of some tips and advice on how to start pitching to the media to secure some coverage and links that can support your SEO. So here we just want to run through briefly sort of how can PR help. So obviously this wider webinar series is all about driving sales. Traditionally PR is about brand awareness, but we're just going to go through very briefly like how PR can support that. So on the left here you can see the traditional marketing funnel, awareness, interest, desire and action, or it's a version of it. And PR can support at various different touch points of that. So the first is obviously brand awareness. Gaining lots of brand mentions and repetitions in the right publications that your audience is reading is obviously great for brand awareness, puts your company, your product, your services at front of their mind. And obviously, like other types of marketing and brand focused marketing, helps put your brand name in front of mind for when they later consider a purchase that's relevant to your business. So the second thing then is igniting interest and desire in businesses, products or services. So if you're doing the right type of PR, or you're doing product related PR, obviously you can sort of use it as a tool as well to support promoting your services and products. And finally, a big part of this presentation as well is about generating backlinks. So we'll go over shortly what backlinks are, but backlinks are really important for, well, driving referral traffic, but more importantly than that, supporting your SEO strategy. So backlinks are one of the most important still ranking factors when it comes to SEO, and will have an impact on how well you're able to rank for different keywords when people search your products and services. And therefore, we want to use PR to build backlinks to support your SEO in driving traffic, in driving leads to your site. So, what are backlinks for those who might be wondering? Well, for those who don't know, backlinks are simply hyperlinks within the text of the page that when you click on them, take you to a new website. So it's simply a hyperlinked link essentially on a word, usually in an article or on a website that links to yours. So how do backlinks support SEO in driving this? Well, very crudely, backlinks drive domain authority, which drives better keyword rankings, which drives better traffic and leads. So the better quality, the more relevant backlinks you have, pointing to your website from other websites, helps strengthen what's called your domain authority, which is a metric by a company called Moz, but essentially represents sort of the authority of your website and the strength of your website, if you like, in search engines. That, along with other aspects of SEO like content and technical SEO, has a strong bearing on how well you're able to rank for the keywords that you're targeting. That obviously then, if you're appearing more often in search results, leads to more impressions for your website in search engines, and therefore hopefully more people clicking on your website, more traffic to your website, and then hopefully obviously as a result of that, more leads and inquiries. The first thing to note here is that backlinks are not all made equal. So quality is really important. So link to the high domain authority, and we said here broadly 30 plus, but this is very context dependent, but link to the high domain authority are important. If you're getting links from websites that have a low domain authority, it's not going to be adding an awful lot to your website. As I mentioned earlier, domain authority is a metric by Moz. It sort of measures the authority of your website in search engines, essentially. It's on a scale of 1 to 100, obviously 1 being the lowest, 100 being the strongest. And if you're interested in finding out about the domain authority of your own website, you can do so. Moz has a 3 domain analysis tool. You can use this link here, so that's moz.com/domain-analysis, or if you're using your phone, this QR code here, you can just use your camera and that will take you to that web page as well. That on that web page, you're able to simply put in the URL of your business, press enter, and it will give you a score of 1 to 100. So that's just a little tip if you haven't done that before. What I would say is that don't sort of panic or expect it to be a really high number. You know, sort of even the BBC and national websites are normally bumping around kind of somewhere in the 90s and 80s, and many companies can do very well on SEO with a domain authority sort of even in like the 30s, 40s. It's really context dependent, and if you're sort of a medium-sized business, for example, you're not gonna, in most cases, you're not going to expect to have a really, really strong domain authority. So it's really relevant to your competitors. What you want to do, or what's more relevant at least, is to look at your domain authority and your broader backlink profile in comparison to your competitors, or at least your search competitors, and those are the people that you're competing against for the keywords you want to target in search engines. So that's quality. The second thing is quantity. So you still need a decent number of links. And thirdly, relevance. So topical relevance. So Google, there is evidence to show that Google essentially supports or sort of favors links that are what's called topically relevant to your website or the industry sector. So for an example, if you were a private healthcare business, it's good to get links from healthcare publications, or at least links from articles that are talking about related health issues, or are from the health section of, say, the Telegraph, for example. So if you were get a link from the Telegraph, it's likely to be more value to you if it's in the health section of the Telegraph than if it's in the sports section, for example. So that's a bit about sort of some very quick basic things to look out for if you're just starting when it comes to links. And now I want to talk a bit about doing a backlink analysis and what that is. So what is a backlink analysis? Well, a backlink analysis simply tells you how good your website's backlink profile is versus other websites competing for the same keywords as you. So the key here is you don't necessarily need loads of backlinks, you just need more, better and newer backlinks than your search competitors in most cases. So how would you do a backlink analysis? Well, this is a little exercise and we'll start, you can skip this if you don't want to do this, but if you do, I'll just walk you through now how to do that. And we're going to look first of all at how to find your search competitors, and then we'll look at how to start doing a backlink analysis. So the first step is to find your search competitors, and that will allow you to do the backlink analysis. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, we need to just define search competitors. And search competitors are other websites that your website's competing against the keywords that you might want to target. So we need to make a distinction here between market competitors and search competitors. Market competitors, obviously the people you tend to consider as your competitors, the people that sell the same or similar products and services to you that you're competing against. Search competitors are the people or the other websites that your website is competing against for the keywords that you want to go after. And sometimes those things can look a bit different, particularly where the keyword that you're going after might have a number of different search intents on it. So for example, if you're a holiday business or a travel business and you're targeting the keyword winter holidays, there's lots of different people that might search the winter holidays. Some of those people might be looking for winter sun holidays in Europe. Some might be looking for UK winter holidays. Some might be looking for winter holidays in kind of winter wonderland type places. If you are a UK holiday park, for example, you're obviously you're interested in targeting that keyword, but but obviously you can only offer them UK travel, but you're still competing against TUI and Booking.com and the others because they're also targeting that keyword. So that's the differentiation. You might not consider, if you're a UK holiday park, you might not consider Booking.com as your typical competitor in that scenario, or at least TUI you wouldn't consider a competitor, but from a search perspective they would be for those keywords. So that's the distinction here. So how do you find those search competitors? Well, you can start using tools like Ahrefs, like SEMrush, and they will help you to identify who your current search competitors are, at least. So if you go to this link, it's called ahrefs.com/keyword-rank-checker, or if you're using your phone, you can use your camera to access that website with this QR code, and that will take you to a tool on the Ahrefs website that will help you to sort of determine who your search competitors are at present. So once you've gone to that website, it will look something like this. You are, I would just point out, using the free version unless you have a subscription to Ahrefs. If you have a subscription to Ahrefs, it will give you a lot more detail, but you don't necessarily need that just to find out your search competitors. So in the first box, you want to put the keyword that you want to go after. And in previous webinars, such as our SEO one delivered by my colleague James, you will have learned how to find the types of keywords that you want to target. So in this example, you might just put a keyword you want to target. In our case, that might be the keyword marketing agency. Then you put your website URL. So where we put koozai.com, you just want to put your own URL. And then finally, you want to obviously ensure that it's the right countries selected. In this case, obviously the United Kingdom. And then press the big orange button that says check rankings. That will then sort of display a list of your keyword competitors, or at least the top websites that are currently ranking for that keyword. And then you know the people you need to beat, essentially. So what I would do is, in that list that it shows you, I would write down the URLs of maybe the top 3 or the top 10 websites that are currently ranking best for those keywords before moving on to step 2, which is where you then compare your backlinks against those websites that are ranking for that keyword. So this is where you go to a slightly different tool, but on the same website. So that's ahrefs.com/backlink-checker. Again, the QR code will take you to that site. And on that site, you can put in your own website URL, and you can repeat the process as well for your competitors. And that will give you insights. You'll be able to see, for example, what their domain authority is and what yours is, how many backlinks they have and how many you do. And that will give you a benchmark idea of how well you're doing in terms of your backlink profile. So that should look something like this. So for our website, you can see the domain authority is 72. They've got over 10,000 backlinks and 1.6 thousand linking websites. And by that, the reason that's different is backlinks is the pure number of links. Linking websites, which is also sometimes called referring domains, means the number of websites. So in this case, you can see we've got lots more backlinks than linking websites, which means the same website is linking to us multiple times, and that is typical. So the main thing you really want to look at here is the domain rating score and the number of links. And then you want to repeat this process for all your search competitors, and that will give you an idea, and just a broad, very crude idea in terms of how well you're ranking, or how well you're performing on your backlink profile. So you'll then know, for example, if 9 out of 10 of your competitors have a stronger domain authority and more backlinks than you, then you know you probably have quite a lot of work to do on your backlink profile and gaining more links. But if you're beating them all, you know the opposite. Or if you're somewhere in the middle, obviously you know that there is room for improvement. It's worth noting at this point that there is a number of other things that you might want to look for if you're doing SEO in a bit more depth. And if you have a subscription to tools like Ahrefs, you'll be able to see more detail, and you'll be able to consider some of the factors we discussed earlier, like quality of those links, like topical relevance of those links, and domain rating of those links. And looking at those aspects as well will allow us to gain a more granular picture rather than this top level picture. But at this stage, when you're just starting and you just want to get a feel for how well you're doing, this is a great way to do that. So how do you get backlinks? Well, the first thing is PR activity. PR can be a brilliant tool for gaining backlinks, particularly when it's digital PR, which is PR focused around campaigns that typically garner more links than general PR activity. There are still traditional what are called like SEO link building tactics. That is not a feature of this presentation. They tend to be less effective than they used to be, but there's still sometimes opportunities there. But if you want more information on those, feel free to get in touch with us, and we're happy to provide you with resources. And then finally, content assets. So the better content you have on your site, particularly on kind of blogs or editorial content, the more content you have on your site, the better quality and the more useful that content is to other people, the more likely you are to get like sort of natural organic links over time, the more likely you are to get people linking to your website naturally over time. So it's important to also consider your content strategy when you're considering links as well.